Ah, sea otters. You know them, you see them, and they're cute enough to get away with anything. Like stealing surfboards in Santa Cruz.
Oh my gosh!
Surfers trying to catch some waves off the coast of Santa Cruz, California, now competing with an unlikely adversary, a sea otter, who's become infamous for biting boards and stealing surf.
Ah, just such precious little creatures. Hi everybody, this is Karina speaking, and no, this is not what I look like in real life. And today, I'll be talking about the conservation efforts that try and protect sea otters. Now, first and foremost, you're probably like, Karina, why should I care about these animals? And aren't they very dangerous and will hold their pups ransom for food from the mothers? Did I say? Well, yeah, you kind of right about that. However, sea otters are very important creatures to our ocean's ecosystem. In ecology, sea otters are considered a keystone species because of their presence has a huge impact on maintaining the balance of marine ecosystems. They're basically the glue holding the whole ecosystem together. Without them, everything just kind of falls apart. However, sea otters are an endangered and threatened species. And the reason why? Well, that is what I'm going to discuss with you all today in this video. Now, some people might see sea otters as not very useful because they believe the sea otter's main diet is just shellfish, assuming that this reduces their populations without realizing that this actually maintains balance. Now, there's one shellfish that has been destroying our kelp forests for a very long time now. Meet the sea urchin. Sea urchins are small creatures usually found on the sea floor in all oceans. Sea urchins are herbivores, so they eat algae, seaweed, and of course, kelp. However, over the years, the sea urchin population has grew far beyond what people can imagine. According to Kate Curlin, a public information representative at UC Davis and someone who specializes in environmental science research, she stated that more than 90% of bull kelp and 96% of red abalone were lost along 217 miles of Northern California coastline within just a few years. Meanwhile, purple sea urchin populations exploded 60-fold between 2014 and 2015. Their population have exploded due to a massive loss of natural predators. And you want to know what animal eat sea urchins? Not only just by eating sea urchins, sea otters are also protecting kelp forests by indirectly helping store carbon, which can contribute to slowing down climate change. According to NOAA, by preying on kelp-grazing sea urchins, otters allow underwater kelp forests to do what forests do everywhere: suck up heat, trapping carbon dioxide via photosynthesis. Remember how I said that sea otters are an endangered species? Let's dive back in time a little bit, shall we? Sea otters were nearly wiped out during the fur trade, but conservation efforts have helped them recover in places like California and Alaska. In the mid-1700s, sea otters were aggressively hunted during their range for their fur pelts. By 1911, almost 1 million sea otters had been slaughtered, and the world population had drastically decreased from 300,000 to only 1,000. And it's not only just fur hunting. Sea otters face several major threats that affect their survival, such as oil spills and water pollution. It can damage their fur and contaminates the water they depend on for food. An oil spill is basically when liquid petroleum gets released into the environment. This can be crude oil or refined fuels like gasoline or diesel. When it spreads out in the water, it forms a slick made of different types of hydrocarbons. NOAA stated that thousands of oil spills occur in U.S. waters each year. Most of these spills are small. For example, when oil is spilled while refueling a ship. But these spills still can be damaging, especially if it happens in sensitive environments like beaches, mangroves, and wetlands. Large oil spills are major, dangerous disasters. These tend to happen when pipelines break, big oil tank ships sink, or drill operations gone wrong. Consequences to our ecosystem and economics can be felt for decades following a large oil spill. Another thing is that sea otters are also very vulnerable to diseases and parasites, such as
Toxoplasma gondii, Sarcocystis.
Cephalins are also known as thorny-headed or spiny-headed worms.
and
domoic acid poisoning.
In addition, sea otters are oftentimes victims of entanglement in fishing gear that can lead to injury or death. And climate change further impacts sea otters by altering ocean conditions and affecting how much prey they can rely on. The Marine Mammal Commission states that in California, over 100 southern sea otters can wash up dead in a single year, representing a significant portion of their small threatened population of around 2,000 to 3,000. 10% of the California sea otter population dies annually.
Hold it! I thought this was talking about conservation efforts that are trying to help protect sea otters. Why is this so depressing?
Well, I had to talk about why it's even needed to even get started on why are there conservation efforts in the first place. Wait. Why are you guys in my house? How did you guys even get in here?
Your window was open.
You didn't lock the back door.
I accidentally broke the front door.
Okay, I guess I'll just ignore the fact that a bunch of students just broke into my house. Yeah, it's really cool. Well, since you guys are here now, might as well learn something for once. And what is on my board? What happened? Hold up, 1 second, please.
A few moments later.
Much better. That was really weird. I don't know where it came from. Anyways, moving on. Now, to finally talk about all the positives to all of this. First and foremost, there have been laws protecting sea otters. In 1868, Congress passed the first, through often efficient, protection for Alaskan sea otters. And in 1972, the Federal Marine Mammal Protection Act, MMPA, provide protection for sea otters in U.S. waters, banning talking or harassing, hunting, capturing, or killing of sea otters. Finally, in 1977, southern sea otters were listed as threatened under the Endangered Species Act, ESA, so it's basically illegal to harm or harass them, and there are rules in place to help their population recover. On top of that, government agencies keep a close eye on sea otters, monitoring their numbers and health, and stepping in with conservation efforts whenever needed. There's also reintroduction and range expansion. Now, what does that exactly mean? I bet you guys have a lot of questions in your pretty little heads you've been wondering about the whole time. Isn't that right, Val?
I was not wondering.
I was wondering.
I know, Camilo.
I love sea otters.
I know, Camilo.
Karina, can I see your credit card?
No, okay, no, continuing on. Federal agencies and conservation groups are actively working on reintroducing sea otters in areas like Northern California and Oregon, where they used to live but disappeared because of past hunting. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service explained that bringing them back could help the population grow and reconnect the groups of sea otters. This is important because it makes the species stronger and more likely to survive. Sea otters have a lot of people looking after them as well, which is pretty cool when you think about it. Places like the Monterey Bay Aquarium are always doing research and rescuing injured otters, helping them get back out in the wild. On a bigger scale, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service works on protecting their habitats and making sure the population stays stable. And it's not just those groups. There are also whole networks of environmental organizations teaming up and working together to make sure sea otters stick around for a longer time.
Out of curiosity, is there any way we can help out?
Wait, you actually care? I did not expect that.
Shut up.
Okay, well, yes, of course you can. One opportunity for volunteering is the volunteering program at Sea Otter Savvy. They are all about helping to protect sea otters along California's central coast through a mixture of research and public outreach. Most volunteers act as community scientists, spending a couple of hours each week observing sea otters in the wild, recording their behavior and noting any human activity like boats that might disturb them. There are also chances to help with educational programs, events, and behind-the-scene admin tasks, all contributing to research that supports better protection for sea otters and encourage people to coexist with them more respectfully and responsibly. Remember, sea otters are a keystone species. That is not up for debate. So that is why protecting sea otters are so important, because they keep coastal ecosystems balanced. A healthy kelp forest provides habitat for many marine species, absorbs carbon dioxide, and protects coastal lines. So when sea otters are present, the entire system thrives. While I know this video mainly focuses on sea otters, it's also a good chance to acknowledge all the ocean creatures. Every creature in the ocean is connected in ways we don't really notice at first. When you start to understand how these different species fit together. It makes the ocean feel less like a bunch of separate animals and more like another world. There are many important creatures in the ocean, such as whales, sharks, sea turtles, and coral. The list can go on, but unfortunately, I'm running out of time, aren't I? So even though we're focusing on otters here today, it's kind of fun to think about how their story is just one small part of a much more bigger ocean story. And once you see those connections, it really makes you appreciate how fascinating and honestly pretty amazing how our marine ecosystems are.
Yippee!
I want to go home.
However, sea otters are very important and a very key bleh.
I did crack. I
Ethan,
What?
it's your line.
know, I'm trying to wait for you to stop laughing, bro.
You're
You can lock
rude.
the back door.
Say again. I was talking over
How
you.
dare you do that? I'm gonna kill you.
My bad. My bad.
We're not
Bitch.
Nina, can I do crack?
Oh, a big fish. That looks like me in the morning. Wait, do you see this one? There's one over here. Where do you see that one in the yellow leaf? Where is it? It's like right here. Like up there. Is it dead? Oh my god! Have you noticed it?
Oh, yippee! Camillo gains 1,000 years. Yippee! Yippee!